Hi, hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Jim Ross and with Paulie Dangerously. And today on Collision or Hit, we're going to have Wonder Woman and Cody Rhodes take on Grayson Waller and Chris Jericho here today on Collision or Hit, Tony Schiavone says. And we all know that Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller started something with Wonder Woman and Cody Rhodes freak shows, and then he would team up with Wonder Woman, Tony Schiavone says. Yeah, months ago Chris Jericho started something of Wonder Woman, Tony, and we just hope that this wrong or war between Wonder Woman and Chris Jericho gets settled, at Halloween Havoc or Halloween Evening Madness or Halloween Night Madness, Jim Ross says. Well, I tell you right now, Tony and Jim, the way things look like, Paulie Dangerously says that Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller are going to have the upper hand on Wonder Woman and Cody Rhodes, just because they're more wiser than Cody Rhodes and Wonder Woman is. But that's just only one man's belief right there. Well, you got said Paulie Dangerously. Well, you're right to your belief there, Paulie Dangerously. If it shifts out to be right or wrong, that's a whole other saga, Tony Schiavone says. And now Jim Ross said we got Wonder Woman in the ring now with Cody Rhodes now. All right, Chris Jericho, Grayson Waller, you both started this with us, and now we're here to end it. Me and Cody Rhodes are going to take on your two sorry rears, you know. And I'm going to tell you something, Chris Jericho. I have no bloody onlook for anything you ever said or did in the skilled wrestling business. All the shit, all the stunts, all the larks, all the shit you pulled on me, Wonder Woman says, you get no onlook from me. And you're right, Cody Rhodes says. I have a lot of onlook for Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman, she wrestles like me. And I have a lot of onlook for Wonder Woman for what she's done as an over good doer, but also what she has done as a woman, but also what she has done in life. And I have more onlook for Wonder Woman than I have for you, Chris Jericho. And you, Grayson Waller, all you are is an underling, or a follower, or whatever you want to call yourself. Like Chris Jericho really needs to have any, follower or underling, or whatever you're calling him. So come out here now. Oh, Cody Rhodes. You are a liar, Chris Jericho says. You're going to say you did it on your own? Bullshit. Your first run in WWE after you came up from OVW, you had your father help you, you had Ted DiBiase Younger, you had Randy Orton with you in your first run, you even had your older brother Goldust help you out many times. You never did nothing on your own. And when you went to NWA and ROH and TNA, and finally AEW, you had Arn Anderson doing shit for you. So don't talk about how you never stood on your own 2 feet. I stood on my own 2 feet, Chris Jericho, in my 2-diff run in WWE. Yes, I did have Randy Orton and Kevin Owens have my back. Alright, I had friends, but Chris Jericho, you're a liar, because you always had folks backing you up, Rufus and WCW, Howard Finkel in your early WWF run. And Grayson Waller, all you are is an underling or a follower, and he's going to throw you underneath the lorry when things don't go right. Hey, Chris Jericho's done a lot for skilled wrestling. He's won a lot more winnings than you, Cody Rhodes. He won winnings in AAA, NJPW, SMW, ECW, WCW, WWF, WWE, TNA, AW. He's done more things than you'll ever do, Cody Rhodes. Yeah, Cody. I'm a former WWE heavyweight fighter. I'm a two-time WCW heavyweight fighter. I'm a seven-time world heavyweight fighter. And I'm a one-time AEW heavyweight fighter and two-time ROH heavyweight fighter. Bullshit, Chris Jericho. I'm a former ROH heavyweight fighter, NWA heavyweight fighter, OVW heavyweight fighter, WWE heavyweight fighter. So I guess I kind of got you matched. And Grayson Waller, the only thing you ever won in WWE was one-time WWE tag team fighter. So we're going to get this match, Wonder Woman said, underway. And soon, you're going to be beaten. Well, let's not forget about how Chris Jericho, has started things with Wonder Woman. And when Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller both beat up on Wonder Woman after a match, Cody Rhodes chosen to team up with Wonder Woman. Tony Schiavone says. And Wonder Woman right now just knocks down Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho right now, the leader of the Learn Tree, formerly the Jericho Onlook followership, Tony Schiavone said, drop kick by Wonder Woman. Chris Jericho isn't doing very well, Tony Schiavone says. And also, a catastrophe kick. The Wonder Woman cutter. Brown Street, Tony Schiavone says. Well, Jim Ross said Chris Jericho is no slouch. He has won many winnings in WCW, WWF, WWE, and TNA. AEW, forgive me. And he's done a lot. Oh, Wonder Woman just went Lear first. The Hidden Breaker. Wonder Woman went Lear first into the ring steeple, and Chris Jericho hit her with the Hidden Breaker. And now Chris Jericho is going to show folks, Jim Ross said, what made him the former WWE heavyweight fighter, the two-time WCW heavyweight fighter, the seven-time World Heavyweight fighter, the one-time AEW heavyweight fighter, and the two-time ROH heavyweight fighter in AEW. ROH heavyweight fighter. 1, 2, and a kick out. And Chris Jericho didn't get her out, but here comes Grayson Waller in the ring now. The greatest wrestler to ever come from the folk wealth, or the folk rank of the southern land. Hey, Paulie Dangerously says, he's so great, he's the greatest thing to ever come out of southern land since those hoppers, Paulie Dangerously says. And Grayson Waller is going to be a great underling, or follower, or learner to Chris Jericho. 1, 2, and a kick out. Chris Jericho can teach many wrestlers many things. He's went to many wrestling businesses. He was in AAA. He was in AAA and NJPW and SMW and ECW and then, WCW and then WWF, WWE and AEW. So, he's a great wrestler, Paulie Dangerously says. And now Cody Rhodes in the ring now. You're right about that. The catastrophe kick. No one's going to take away what Chris Jericho has done in the skilled wrestling business, Tony Schiavone says. But he's still a bully and a heel and a creep. The catastrophe kick. The Cody cutter. Round Street on Grayson Waller, Tony Schiavone says. Look out, Jim Ross said. Catastrophe kick. The Wonder Woman cutter. Round Street. And Wonder Woman just threw out Chris Jericho. This match is over here. This match is done, Jim Ross says. Yes, it is, Tony Schiavone says. The Fight Lord just needs to reckon 1, 2, 3. No, Paulie Dangerously says, Chris Jericho, Grayson Waller. You can't lose the Wonder Woman. You can't lose the Cody Rhodes. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner. Here are your winners. Wonder Woman and the TWF Heavyweight and World Heavyweight Fighter, Cody Rhodes. Well, Tony Schiavone says Wonder Woman and Cody Rhodes beat Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller here today on Collision or Hit. And it was a good match between Wonder Woman and Cody Rhodes fighting Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller, Tony Schiavone says. Yes, it was, Jim Ross says. I mean, we saw Wonder Woman and Cody Rhodes take care of, Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller. We saw that happen. And it was a great match. Oh, yes, it was. It was a great match, Paulie Dangerously says. But I think it was sad that Wonder Woman and Cody Rhodes had to beat Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller. I think that Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller should have beat Wonder Woman and Cody Rhodes, Paulie Dangerously says. All right, everyone, take it away now to Jonathan Coachman. Thank you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. I'm going to be talking with Grumford here today on Collision or Hit. Grumford, you had this time. I know that I could be a good TWF heavyweight fighter or world heavyweight fighter. So I think they should take the world heavyweight winnings off of Cody Rhodes and give it to me. And he could keep on being the TWF heavyweight fighter. Well, Grumford, you're still involved in a war or a wrong with Thor. Yeah, I beat Thor all the time. So I'm not worried about Thor anymore. If Thor wants ever in a match with me, Jonathan Coachman, he knows where to seek me, and he knows that I'll only beat him again. Well, so for Grumford, you think that Cody Rhodes should give up the world heavyweight winnings to you, but to keep the TWF heavyweight winnings. That's what I think. But I also believe I could be both the TWF heavyweight fighter and the world heavyweight fighter. And I just hope that the Vinlander Nightmare Cody Rhodes hears what I say, and I hope the TWF oversight team and leadership team and matchmaking team see it my way. They take the world heavyweight winnings off of Cody Rhodes. They give it to me. He gets to keep the TWF heavyweight winnings, and I get the one that started with Hulk Hogan in 2001 YL, and he gets to keep the one that started with Earthquake in between 93 YL. Well, Grumford sees he wants to be the world heavyweight fighter, and he wants to take the world heavyweight winnings off of Cody Rhodes. Well, will it happen? Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. Well, thank you, Jonathan Coachman, for talking with Grumford here today on Collision or Hit. And that's all the time we've got here for Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Jim Ross and Paulie Dangerously. We hope you like Collision or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw or Moonday Night Raw.